Getting graduates started out on the right financial foot, saving for 401k, and when should parents stop helping? Talking all about those things and more for today's In-Depth. All right, we're joined by Drew Blackston, financial expert from Blackston Financial Group. Thanks for coming in again.
Yeah,
we
excited.
were talking recently about saving for retirement, and we're talking about now the class of 2018, graduating, starting their careers in some cases. So it kind of all falls under the umbrella because you want to start saving for retirement, obviously now. But I think recently on the afternoon edition, we were talking about a consulting firm talking about the average salary, $50,000 for the class of 2018 new grad, somebody with a bachelor's degree.
Yeah, no, it's a good salary to start with, and it's a good time to start planning, not just for retirement, but just starting your life. A lot of people come out of college, they may be dating someone, they may be getting married, they may have a home. The average college grad graduates with about $34,000 in student loan debt. So there's a lot going on when you graduate, and finances are a huge part of that. And just getting a plan together, right after you graduate is a good start.
Which kind of catapults into the next question: is how much of these recent grads, how much help are they getting from mom and dad?
I read on NerdWallet that 80% of college grads actually get help from mom and dad. Yeah. So, and in my industry, I deal with a lot of grandparents, and a lot of grandparents are actually helping grandchildren. And so what we see is, parents and grandparents wanting to be generous, wanting to help college grads, helping their kids or helping their grandkids, which is nothing's wrong with that. But as a parent, you have to make sure that what you're doing is not first enabling them, right, but second, you're not putting your own financial, self at risk by helping your kids. And so I think there's some limits you have to put on yourself, dollar limits, time limits, things like that. Nothing wrong with helping, but you just want to make sure it's good for you as well as good for the kid.
Now we hear a lot about debt and college grads having debt. There is a difference, though, between good debt and bad debt.
Correct.
Some people might say student loans are bad, but they're good because they're going to help you catapult in your career.
Yeah.
How do we get paid, pay that debt down, whether it's good debt or bad debt?
Yeah, good debt's usually your mortgage, things like that. And like you said, student debt's not always bad debt. It's if you don't pay the debt is when it becomes bad. And then the interest adds up and you default and hurts your credit, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
So if you have student loan debt, it's just like we talked about in retirement. It's good to have a budget, and it's something that we don't like to talk about, but we want to try to get rid of that debt as soon as possible so that we can move on to saving, we can move on to adding to our cash flow, move on to our investment accounts. And if you do get married, you buy a home, things like that, and you add a mortgage to your student loan debt, now you've doubled your debt. So it's really just want to have a plan to pay that off. On our website, Blackston Financial, we actually have a budget sheet. Now, there's a lot of great apps out there, too. Mint.com, things like that will help you save. But if you're old-fashioned, you can go to our website and get the budget.
What about 401k?
401ks are great. If you're starting to work and the company offers a 401k, you want to match into that. So let's say your company offers a 3% match. Put that money in there. At least put 3% because they're going to give you free money on top of that. A lot of clients that I work with, the businesses don't offer 401ks because they may be smaller businesses. So start an IRA, start a Roth IRA. You can do that at any bank, any investment firm. Just start somewhere to start saving.
And, do you have any tips for parents on how to help recent grads? Because, when you're a parent, you want to help them. They've gone through the grueling 4, 6, 8 years, depending on what they're wanting to do. What's your advice?
I really enjoyed college. I was on the 5.5-year plan, which is a lot of fun. But for parents, emotionally, if you're married, you want to make sure both parents agree on what they want to help with the child. So a lot of times, the mom may really want to help, but the dad's like, well, okay, it's time to go. So the parents really need to agree on what they want to help their child with. And like I said before, you really want to put time limits on it. Say, okay, little Johnny graduated, he's 22, how long do we want to help? Or what do we want to help with? Not necessarily do we want to pay his Netflix bill, but we may help him with his rent or his gas. I'm not necessarily going to help him get out on Church Street, but I do want to help him, get with daily expenses and things like that. And put a limit on that money.
And how long should they help them for?
I think that's really a personal thing between the family. Things happen, right? You might lose a job, or you might not be able to find a job in your certain career, and so you may have to take a lower paying job first. So it's really kind of left up to the parents. I think as a child, you need to be able to tell your mom and dad, hey, I'm good. I'm finally getting to a place where I feel comfortable, and the mom and dad need to be able to recognize that as well.
Okay. All right, Drew Blackston, Blackston Financial Group, thanks for coming in again. We'll see you soon.
Excited. Thank you, sir.